Faithful birds flying in the sky.
Gender as a construct.
I think like 3 or 4.
5 years old.
My brothers, they had like army men, and I was very happy that I didn't have to go to work.
Probably the first time my older brother beat me up.
Definitely in school. I felt less confident, I guess, than boys. And
The teachers who were male and were not very constructive or positive about females in general.
I've never been very clever at maths. Stereotype says that men are better at maths.
I'm pursuing software development right now. No one ever encouraged that as something I could pursue. So.
I'm Suzanne, and I am the writer and performer of a solo show that I have entitled Faithful Birds. Faithful Birds is the story of becoming a woman and what that's like through the lens of I'm not as valuable because I'm female, and how that affects different aspects of life, career, relationships, identity, sexuality, how it distorts those things through that lens. And specifically what it did for me was I kind of started to have these little voices in me that were very distinct and couldn't integrate together. The show's about putting those voices back together and healing and transformation. I wrote it to really confront the issues that I grew up with. We need stories about real women and not phony, idealist versions of women. Just real people. I didn't even realize how the timing of this show was so perfect, because at the beginning of this year we had the stuff about former Dr. Larry Nassar and all the gymnasts that came forward, and I think as a country it was just mind-blowing because it had been going on for so long. And I know that I hoped we were asking ourselves, how does this happen? How do we let this go on for so long? What are the perceptions we hold that allow this to go on for so long? And then just a bit later we had the charges come forward about Harvey Weinstein. Then we had this avalanche of voices. It's like, where is all this coming from? What it's coming from is really what I grew up with. These are perceptions we have, and we need to tell these stories because I think that's how the truth gets dug up and how we figure out, oh, well, that's a kind of a strange thing. Why do we think that? Okay, well, that's not really true. Let's change it. So I think it's so important to support women's voices and let women tell the tricky stories. There's some complex stuff that doesn't get talked about.
Probably like 12 years old, walking around with my friends, and like people would honk at us and we'd be like, what the hell, we're 12.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
It was like middle school.
Middle school.
Like 12 years old.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I remember I was wearing like a little kid dress, and then I realized somebody was doing it a different way. I was like 12.
Yeah, like 15, I would say.
I was like 13 maybe. It would make me uncomfortable. It still does sometimes because I feel like I still think that I'm like a young person in my mind. So
Faithful birds flying in the sky.
The budget for Faithful Birds is $25,000. We're gonna have a 3-week run in March and April of 2019 at the Paradise Factory Theater in the East Village. We'll have a predominantly female crew. We are sponsored by Fractured Atlas, so that means all your donations are tax deductible. This is how stories like this get made. They get made with people like you and your support. And the beauty of crowdfunding is that everybody's coming together to support an idea. You're being a part of making something come to life. There's nothing that's too small. Anything matters. It's not about the amount, it's about the intention behind your donation. So put your money where your heart is and thought into action and donate to Faithful Birds.